Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I want to take a little bit of time and reflect on the careers of two well known celebrities. Um, Mr. Jerry Springer, as you see right here. And I believe I got this autograph from him while he was on Broadway. I might be misremembering that, but I believe he was in Chicago, the play on Broadway. I believe that's where this is from. I believe that's the costuming and the setting from Chicago. I might be wrong. If you recognize this, let me know. I've had this for several years, and I believe it was from Broadway. Regardless, um, Mr. Springer, if you know his story, he just recently passed a few days ago. And if you know his story, he was the one time Cincinnati mayor, got into some legal trouble. If you know the story, you know the story. And if you don't, Google it. But he turned what was potentially a negative situation. Well, it was a negative situation. He was definitely, he had to step down as mayor of Cincinnati. But he managed to find a way to capitalize on his situation with the Jerry Springer show and other things. Um, but he was best known for the Jerry Springer show. And if you're an American um, uh, of TV watching age in the 90s, 2000s, you know the Jerry Springer show. It was very um, high octane television, should I say. Um, and I didn't realize it ran for 28 seasons. I did not know that until I just looked this up. And I recently, before he passed, this was a few months ago, I recently, out of curiosity, looked up a current episode of Jerry Springer Show, and I, I believe from what I saw that it hasn't really lost a step um, of that kind of high impact television that was well known in the 90s and things like that. It was off the rails. Jerry Springer knew it. He knew what he was doing, and he knew how to capitalize on that. So that's why the Jerry Springer show exists. He was a very, very smart man, even though he made a dumb decision that caused him his political career. Uh, he was a very entrepreneurial um, gentleman, and he knew how to capitalize on a situation. And for that, whatever you think of Jerry Springer, um, he was an entrepreneur, and he knew how to turn that situation into a capitalistic opportunity, should I say? So yeah, so remembering Jerry Springer, just looking this up because I looked up his career. He was in Ringmaster, which was loosely based on his life um, in the Jerry Springer show and things like that. But I didn't know he was born in London. He was a child of World War II, and his parents fled Nazi Germany to England. And so, yeah, I did not know he was a native, technically, of England, Great Britain, UK, however you want to say it. And I always assumed he was just an American, but yeah, I did not know that about him. So, so a post mortem, long overdue. Thank you, Mr. Springer, for this autograph. I do appreciate it. Very, very cool. I'm glad I have this. I'm not glad that you passed away, but I'm glad I have this autograph right here. And like I said, if you know the Jerry Springer show, um, he had many, many fans, and he will be missed, definitely. So that's Jerry Springer right there. And the next entertainer I want to talk about was an Australian entertainer that American audiences most probably will remember, Dame Edna. Dame Edna had a career starting in the late 60s. He was in the original version of Bedazzled, not the Brendan Fraser, Elizabeth Hurley version, but with Dudley Moore and Raquel Welch. His This was his stage name, Dame Edna. Dame Edna. He was This was his character. His name was Barry Humphries. He's born in Australia, and he had a very long career. Like I said, Americans might remember him late 80s, early 90s. He did a lot of, I believe Dame Edna did a lot of appearances on, guest appearances on shows and things like that. But yeah, he had outside of the United States and especially in Australia, he had a very long and prosperous career. I was very surprised. I thought this was his one thing, the Dame Edna character, but I looked it up, and man, he was in several movies and TV shows and specials, and you name it. He was all over the place. So I know Australian viewers will remember him more than American viewers. And he was gracious enough to hook me up with this autograph. I've had this probably for 5, 10 years now, if I remember right, probably more. So, very another post mortem, long overdue thank you to Dame Edna for that autograph right there. That was very cool. And once again, Jerry Springer, an icon, an American icon, but an entrepreneur, um, businessman, and he knew what he was doing. Both of these gentlemen, very successful in their fields. And that's it for today. I thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon.